When was the moment you realized that your best friend wasn't your best friend? When she told me my husband and I would make hideous babies, because red-headed babies are the ugliest thing she has ever seen. She also locked me out of our hotel 4 hours from home with no way home at 3 a.m. that same day after an argument over her saying my husband kills people for a living. He's a chemist who works on developing chemotherapy. That was the last time I've spoken to her, 4 years ago. Such a jealous woman. When he didn't invite me to his birthday party, I went over to drop off a present, thinking he wasn't having a party, hadn't mentioned anything at school, and found him with his better friends. Edit. Holy shit, this blew up. Doubled my karma. Also, don't be too mean please, it was 4th grade and he's not a terrible person. When I invited her to hang out with me at the nearby lake for my birthday, she said she would get back to me. She never did. Instead, she posted on her Snapchat story about how much fun she was having with her other friends. I stopped talking to her after that. Telling his brother after I had called to talk for a bit like we always did, I told you to say I'm not home if putties_panzer_ here called. Was upset, but it also clued me in to not waste time on that person anymore. Just told him not to worry and that I would talk to him later. Never did, just left it at that. He was best man at my wedding. We had not much contact for a couple of years, but I still considered him my best friend. I heard about his wedding well after the fact. Guess we're not best friends anymore. We graduated from high school and she went to college halfway across the world. When she came back to visit, when I tried to hang out with her, she was always too busy. I later saw tons of pictures posted on Facebook with her and other girls having fun together. So that's what she was so busy with. Then at one point she told me that those girls had actually invited me to everything, but she convinced them I wouldn't be able to go. I would have been able to go. I left her alone after that. Edit. I see a lot of speculation in the comments, so I'll try to clear things up. These girls were all people I'd been going to school with since kindergarten or so. We all knew each other. I was on good terms with the other girls. The girl I'd been best friends with since 1st grade, so I felt loyal to her even though as we got older, she got meaner. I've learned better since then. I have no idea why she said that, but when she said it, it was with no malice or shame or anything. Like she was just offhandedly stating a fact. I honestly can't figure out why. Maybe she really did think I was busy and it just came out really, really wrong. But it seems deliberate when you do that consistently for 2 to 3 weeks while everyone was back home. My best friend of high school, someone who I thought would be in my life for a long time, started to hit on a girl that I was talking to. He would lie about me to change her opinion of me. And the best part is he never admitted to a thing. Maybe not that bad, but I felt really betrayed. I have lived within 2 hours of him for the last 6 years and he has never come to visit me, always me visiting him. Last straw, had a huge July 4th barbecue and invited him and he declined so he could go to a lake with strangers. Fuck you, Rick. When she invited me out to dinner as a Christmas gift, and then when the check was dropped, told me she actually couldn't treat BC. She had impulse bought her shitty boyfriend a plane ticket when she was drunk the evening before and therefore didn't have the dollar, among other things, but this was the moment when I was really like, wow, my friendship means nothing to her. When my best friend had marriage troubles, I was there for him, all through his wife's infidelity, the divorce, and the custody battle. I testified on his behalf in court and he got custody of the kids. Fast forward 2 years later, when I find out my wife is cheating on me. He's not really interested in talking to me about it so much, and even acts like he's not home when I stop by for a visit. And no, he wasn't the one my wife was cheating with. He's a good dad and a fun guy to hang around with. But he's just not emotionally available to help other people out much. While they were driving, everyone decided they wanted to party. No one had money, so they suggested they should call Barbados. He always has money. I was sitting in the back seat. I was like, I'm right here and I'm not in the mood to party tonight. Our conversations were getting shorter and less intriguing. One day, I received great news and wanted to share it to my best friend. I then realized that they deleted and blocked me on Facebook. When he started spreading rumors that I was a fuckboy that was going to shoot up the school despite me never having a girlfriend at that point and am extremely nonviolent. When I opened up to her about my postpartum depression and she told me that she didn't have time for depression and it was weak. I was never vulnerable with her, but I was dying inside. I needed someone and she had told me she didn't care. I began shutting her out then. When I realized she only wanted to receive support and kindness but never give it. She had a rough home life growing up and I always supported her through everything. I would drop what I was doing when she'd call me in tears to help her. Then I had my own rough patch that left me in a depressive rut. She was always too busy with her hobbies, not even actual work/school, to even talk to me when I went seeking support. Would get angry when I sent simple "Are you free this weekend?" texts because it was too needy. This is also when I learned who my real best friend was, because she saw what was happening, told off this so-called friend, and gave me all the support I needed. Edit. OMG, this got way more attention than I thought it would. I'm so sorry to see this is such a common ordeal that people have gone through/are going through. I wish everyone the best. We all deserve the support to get us through tough times. Thank you so much for my first gold. Best friends for a couple of years. We were in different classes. I wrote her a message that I'd be on my way to her. When I arrived, she forgot to alt-tab the chat window with someone else, making fun of me at the worst possible way. At that time she was my only friend. Was tough to have no friends after that for a long time. This might not sound like a lot, but I think that scared me and I'm still struggling making friends. Edit. Holy shit. That wave of responses is just crazy. Thanks for everyone who's reaching out to me. Also, thanks for the silver kind stranger. Best friend of 15 years. It all unraveled the night he told my cousin to kill herself, tried to start a fight with multiple people at my house, and flipped off my mom. Edit. Yes, he was drunk at the time. No, I'm not reaching out to him. Disrespect to my family is an irredeemable offense in my eyes. He's out of my life completely now. When they said that I'm not funny and never have been. They said they only laughed at my jokes out of pity. They then said that no girl would ever like me and that I'm annoying. The thing about girls didn't hurt that bad, but for some reason by them saying I wasn't funny, really hurt. This was after 3 years of being best friends. I gave this person way too many chances, when she would only have me come over so she could go to a concert. Because her parents liked me and let us go out. She stopped talking to me for a while but hit me because she was applying for a job and needed clean urine. We stopped talking again. Then she would call me to tell me she needed food and money for her son. And then bought drugs. I've stopped helping her. And she's no longer my best friend, but I listen when she needs to talk and having a hard time. Do the man, that really sucks. I don't hate her. But I've set boundaries. I really hope she gets her life together. Was gonna make a throwaway, but F that. Last year, he was in my town and ran into my son at a local store. My son, does my dad know you are in town? Guy, no. He's an asshole. Now, I may be an asshole. But an asshole down a best friend now. In our final year of university, after having a nearly identical schedule for our first 3 years, we took different electives to finish up our degree. Since we weren't seeing each other every day, we talked less and less. It's not just on him, I didn't do enough either, but it kinda sucked realizing that our friendship wasn't going to last up to graduation, and obviously afterwards as well. After years of giving me a hard time for eloping, making me promise after my first divorce that if I marry again she must be invited. I invited her. She got her mom to babysit her kids, and then went to her ex-boyfriend's house to fuck all weekend, totally blowing off my wedding. My wedding was extremely small. Besides my daughter, she was my only invited guest. She showed me right there exactly how important I was to her. I must flip this because I was the problem, not him. Fell in love with him. Could not reverse my feelings. Shamed of this. He deserved a better friend. Has moved on. I miss him. Edit. Thank you for messaging me. Feels good knowing many of us know this experience. Whole thing gave me whiplash. We were friends for almost a decade before a switch flipped and a flip switched for me and it did not go back. I waited for months before I told him, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't confused and that my feelings were not going away. I think I even waited for about a year, IIRC. He was really sound about it. I swear I'm not putting him on top of a pedestal, he handled it all perfectly and treated me very right. He was confused at first, and we tried to be together a few times, on and off I guess. Over a couple of years. Never anything official, we were already so close and had been spending most of our time together anyhow. He was ready ages ago to resume being friends and I tried, but we were tumbling down different fields of life at the time. I think he has a kid now. I believe we live in separate countries. We were very close once and had good times, and I respect him and hope he continues to be well and happy. For years, my best friend had asked me every summer to go to the sleepaway summer camp in the Poconos with her, but my mother wouldn't ever let me go. The year she finally broke down and said I could go, my bestie and I spent weeks shopping and planning and talking about it non-stop. It was going to be glorious, the final summer before junior high. After her parents dropped us off, however, this bitch proceeded to flat out ignore me the entire 2 weeks we were there. She wouldn't even have a 2-minute conversation with me to tell me what I'd done. I was beyond miserable. All the other kids had been going there every summer and all knew each other, and here I was, basically alone in another state, pre-internet and cell phones, totally bewildered and upset because my best friend since kindergarten, and the only other person I knew there, wouldn't so much as look at me. I was miserable. When her parents came to pick us up, I didn't say a damn word the whole 2-hour trip home and never spoke to her again. To this day I have no idea why the fuck she acted like that, but I'm still a little pissed off. When we both tried to get in a frat, I didn't make it and he did, which was cool. BC we'd still hang out. That is until for the next month him and a few of his new frat pledges would throw food at me, and on at least 4 occasions I'd be blindsided on campus with them tipping me over. I'm in a wheelchair. They wore masks so I had no proof to anyone, but he was pretty big and I recognized his shoes. He then tried to still hang around me and act like he never did anything. I didn't really figure it out till about the 3rd time when they tipped me over, and that's when I saw his shoes, confirming it. About a year later he randomly texted me saying how sorry he was for what he did and hoped we could be friends again, but by that time I could care less. Turns out he had gotten kicked out of the frat for drug use and now he couch surfs.